Guys, here with a new video for the channel. I hope you like it, and if you like it, don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now without further ado, get comfortable. Let's begin. In Universe 7, especially on the planet named Vegeta, a warrior had been born with the fighting power of absolutely zero. That's right, he could not be considered even a low class, but anything striking were his gray eyes. Although the Saiyan named Kakarot did not emanate any power, the pressure felt all over the planet of Vegeta was incredible. However, all the great power had been felt by the Angel of Universe 7, who would be a little surprised to realize how a mortal had been born with the power beyond a god. Wow, this is amazing! I didn't think a Saiyan would be able to be born with that kind of power. Meanwhile, on the planet of Vegeta, Bardock, Kakarot's father, was facing several warriors from the entire Frieza army, which upon knowing the threat posed by that child, could give the direct order to finish with him and his entire family.
They're a bunch of bastards. Even though all of us Saiyans have served a great Frieza, he dismisses us as if we're just scum. It is what they are. You have only anticipated their fate, since the great Frieza had planned from the beginning to finish with all you damn monkeys. Bardock, with much more furious, was fighting with the warriors. After a few hours of battle, Bardock was able to finish with the soldiers, but he was very badly wounded. Returning to his planet quickly, the instant he arrived, he would take Kakarot, Gine, his mother, and was very confused by all of the behavior of Bardock.
Bardock, what the hell's wrong with you? Why are you planning to send Kakarot to a planet? He's a warrior who would not be considered our low class. He'll die.
Hush. I have a better chance of survival if he goes to a planet, since this planet will be destroyed by the damn Frieza.
Gine would be very surprised to know that the person responsible for all this was the Emperor of the entire Universe 7. Kakarot would be sent quickly to planet Earth, where there were no warriors of great powers. However, Frieza was in the atmosphere of that planet.
Today I plan to kill all the Saiyans. I'll not leave any worms alive, so I hope they're ready to die.
At that moment, a Saiyan would stand in front of Frieza, who would charge his most powerful attack. Being useless before the evil Emperor Supernova, the entire planet Vegeta would be reduced to simple dust of the universe. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, Kakarot would be found by son Gohan. However, over time, Gohan had died in the same way from natural causes, while Kakarot was much colder of a personality. He was even able to master the state of Ultra Instinct, being able to be in his base state. As the Ultra Defense Instinct, Kakarot, he would be able to go through all the universes on adventures, but on this occasion, being able to finish off each of his warriors with some ease until one day, his brother named Raditz would arrive on planet Earth, which at the moment of holding his son, Goku, with a great blow, would be able to receive him, leaving him on the verge of death.
What the hell? How do you have all that power if your power is equivalent to zero?
Kakarot, knowing he had to end Frieza's life, this one was much more determination, would use a large part of his power to achieve similar powers. Instantly, he'd begin to fly all over space, quickly reaching the planet Namek. That's right, the evil emperor, he would want to seek immortality. Going to the planet Namek, instantly the Kakarot arrived, he was able to observe Vegeta on the verge of death. As well as the Namekians, Kakarot, observing this, would be filled with great anger. Vegeta, realizing he was a Saiyan, she would begin to beg for Frieza's life. However, Frieza would throw a lightning bolt with the intention of ending the life of the Saiyan Vegeta, and Kakarot would easily be able to deflect that lightning.
Damn worm, I know you destroyed my home planet, and I don't like how it ended up with someone as weak as you. So you have more power, you better release it now!
Frieza was very confident, but at that moment, a great pressure would be felt all over the place. That's right, Kakarot had released a little bit of his true birth power. Frieza at that moment would begin to access his last form, not surprising at all to Kakarot.
Ha! Is that really all your power? You're nothing but a simple worm.
Kakarot, without any difficulty, was able to humiliate the evil emperor, who was not able to assimilate the beating they were giving him. Kakarot, at that moment, was able to feel a gigantic power. That's right, Kakarot was able to feel the power of Beerus, which had awakened from his great dream. And because Kakarot possessed the Ultra Instinct, he was able to feel the power of the gods and angels. But the power of Whis being at rest, he was not able to perceive it.
I don't have to waste my time with simple worms like you. An extremely powerful being has appeared. Kakarot, without leaving Frieza, would end his life with a great attack, which would be able to completely pulverize him. At the moment, he would approach Vegeta, granting him a little of his energy so that he was able to recover.
How's it possible you're so powerful?
I'm the only Saiyan who's raised on planet Earth. I warn you that if you keep destroying planets and innocent beings, I'll take it upon myself to end your pathetic life. Kakarot at that moment would disappear from the place, leaving Vegeta very surprised. While Kakarot was moving at speeds, at the movement, he would arrive at a very strange planet, observing two beings of somewhat peculiar aspects. These guys emanate incredible power, but who are they? When Beerus realized that someone was flying over his planet, he would move towards the subject at lightning speed, trying to give him a hit. But he was surprised to realize how the warrior had been able to dodge him.
Apparently you're somewhat of a strong guy, or what it was as a first-time luck.
Beerus would immediately begin to grant hundreds of blows, which for his impression, the subject in front of him would be able to dodge each one of his blows, and would immediately respond with a powerful blow, which made him fall to the surface of his planet. Wow, you are that Saiyan. How interesting. Beerus would expel his power, destroying everything in his path, finding himself very annoyed. That's right, Beerus at a great speed would charge against Kakarot, which this time would adopt a great battle pose. At the moment, both warriors began their incredible battle, powers that were even felt up to the kingdom of the...
What's going on in Universe 7? The angels know that two gods are not allowed to fight.
At the moment, Daishinkan would teleport quickly, appearing on the top of the planet of Beerus, being very surprised to realize the presence of the Great Priest. However, even Daishinkan was amazed due to the power that emanated that Saiyan. Instantly, Daishinkan would release a small part of his incredible pressure, which no god was able to withstand except for Beerus, which was considered the most powerful god of the 12 gods. However, for Kakarot, it no seemed to be a problem. Daishinkan would raise his pressure a little more, with which Beerus kept on his feet, but it was already costing him.
Saiyan, I can tell that you're too young to possess that incredible power. Are you a genius?
I don't know that. I've always had this power since my birth. I even been listening to a class warrior down to the power of being zero.
That's an easy explanation. Its power has always been zero because the divine key can only be perceived by another being with the same energy.
But tell me, who are you? Are you more powerful than this simple god? I've always wanted to use all my power, but I've never succeeded.
Stop being an idiot. He's a great priest, the being who's above all of us. He even is above all the angels. Don't worry, Beerus. I wish for you to fight him with all your power. I want to check on all the power of this Saiyan. As you order, great Daishinkan-sama.
Beerus instantly, with much more determination, would pounce against Kakarot, being able to connect an effective blow, sending him to a nearby planet, exploding on impact. Beerus, without allowing Kakarot to recover, would begin to grant him hundreds of blows, because this time Beerus was using a large part of all his power, with which he was able to defeat all the other gods together. Beerus would throw a large sphere of energy towards Kakarot, but at the moment Kakarot would access the perfect Ultra Instinct, being able to hold all the energy of Beerus at the tips of his fingers. Beerus, upon witnessing such an act, would be surprised at that moment. Kakarot would destroy it, and with a serious look, he would move at lightning speed, being able to deal it millions of blows in a matter of seconds. At the moment, as if it were a meteor, Beerus would fall to the planet very badly injured. Does this pathetic guy call himself a god? Don't make me laugh. It only made me use 55% of all my power. Daishinkan was about to finish the battle, but a weakened voice of Beerus would stop him as he stood up hardly.
Saiyan, I must confess you're powerful. I've never used this transformation. Even the High Priest doesn't know that I'm capable of transforming, but it does look like this looks like it to you.
At that moment, Beerus would begin to collect energy throughout his body. That's right, Beerus would begin to gather all the energy, while catastrophes were caused throughout the Universe 7. At the moment, Daishinkan would launch a small sphere of energy, which, when mixed with the whole universe, would protect him. At the moment, from a big explosion, one could observe Beerus in his combat form, which would even leave Kakarot surprised. However, without any words, Beerus was able to hit... That's right, that blow was able to make him vomit large amounts of blood. But that blow had not been ordinary, as it would throw the entire spiritual sea of Kakarot out of control. Where did you end up with so much power from? That blow felt like it was from all over me. Kakarot would stand up, but the moment he would fall to the ground again. Damn, that hit has caused me incredible damage. I can't believe it.
You wanted me to use all my power. I hope you're worthy to give me a battle. This is amazing. I had no knowledge of the incredible power that slept in Beerus.
Kakarot, despite the incredible pain, would stand up and would pounce against Beerus, but the battle of the balance was totally in favor of Beerus, since this time he was the one who was able to completely dominate the battle. Beerus, despite not possessing the Ultra Instinct, was able to dodge every one of Kakarot's blows, while Kakarot, despite possessing the Ultra Instinct, was not able to dodge all of Beerus's blows. At that moment, Beerus was able to connect an incredible blow, which would send him flying over several mountains, losing his state of Ultra Instinct. I never thought I'd be defeated, so this feels... how strange.
Enough, Beerus. Plan to take this Saiyan to the kingdom of the whole. The power that sleeps in him is incredible.
Father, are you planning to train that Saiyan?
That's right, Whis. Planning to train him to turn him into the most powerful Saiyan of all the universes. But Beerus, keep on with your training. Of course, Daishinkan-sama.
When you least expect it, I'll be so powerful as to make you kiss the ground. This will not stay like this. I plan to turn you to dust of the universe. Daishinkan would leave together with Kakarot to the kingdom of the whole, while Beerus would return to his base state, but at the moment, he would still fall to the ground very badly injured. Mr. Beerus did not get out of this battle well either, since apparently the blows of that Saiyan were capable of causing great damage to Mr. Beerus. Meanwhile, in the kingdom of the whole, Daishinkan would help to heal the wounds of the Saiyan. And at the moment of full recovery, Daishinkan would step forward, hinting that he was going to train him, while Kakarot raised his power to the maximum to be able to withstand all the training of the Great Priest. Kakarot was increasing his power to the maximum of his abilities. At the time of a big explosion, Kakarot had accessed the maximum power of the Ultra Instinct, but the power compared to the fight against Beerus was incredible, because this time he had obtained an incredible Zenkai.
The adaptability of the Saiyan's incredible. I can't believe only with the fight he had against Beerus, he has reached that level.
Kakarot, without waiting for Daishinkan to react, would pounce against him, with which Daishinkan, without any difficulty, was able to dodge each of his blows. At the moment, Daishinkan would expel a little of his pressure, with which he was able to immobilize the Saiyan completely. What the hell's going on? How were you able to completely immobilize me? On that god's planet, you weren't able to do it!
You're very wrong, Saiyan, as I really didn't want to do it.
Daishinkan would stop expelling such incredible pressure, and instantly, both warriors would head towards a very peculiar room, in which Kakarot would receive his great training. Meanwhile, on the planet of Beerus, he was also carrying out a rigorous training, with which he wanted to get much closer to the power of an angel.
Whis, I want to train until I have a power compared to yours. I don't want to stay behind that damn Saiyan.
Mr. Beerus, that will be very complicated since I explained to you that you have trained for millions of years, unlike that Saiyan who has only 25 years of training.
I don't care that he has a genius. I'll prove that hard work compares to even surpass skill.
Both deities will continue with their furtive training. At the moment, one of Frieza's planets, one of his soldiers, had been able to gather the Dragon Balls, with which they had been able to bring Frieza to life. But on this occasion, the Emperor of Evil would communicate with his father, as well as his brother, so the trio of warriors would meet.
Father, brother, we must train because a Saiyan with the godlike power has been able to defeat me, even without making the slightest effort.
Don't worry, my son. As the three of us have been considered prodigies, this will not be an exception.
That's right. Imagine how much our power will grow if we train properly. I wanted to count on your support, so from now on, the family of evil will start with the training, to even finish with the gods that always stepped on us.
This is how the trio of warriors would leave for an inhospitable planet in which they would begin with their furtive training. However, a much more powerful being that even the Great Priest was about to release the last seal in which he had been sealed for all eternity, implying that men were not always the most powerful. That's right, the power of Mikoshin and Mother of all Angels had been sealed, being corrupted by the negative energy of the first king of all.
This is the last divine seal of them. I swear I'll destroy everything created by Zeno-sama. I can't believe that Daishinkan's bastard turned his back on me.
Flashback.
Daishinkan, you're also called the Supreme Angel, and we end the king's life completely, and we could be the new rulers. Think about it.
Of course not, Mikoshin. Thanks to Zeno-sama, we exist. I'm not gonna deal with it. I don't know what the hell is wrong with you.
If you're not with me, I'm gonna finish you, scum.
And that's how the most apocalyptic battle since the beginning of time would begin. That's right, the battle would destroy 14 universes, of which there were a total of 48 universes. That's how there were only 24 left, until sometime later, Zeno-sama would eliminate 12 more universes by being corrupted by evil. Daishinkan, along with the Guardians of Zeno-sama and the help of the gods, were able to seal Mikoshin with various divine seals, which were said to be indestructible, and they sealed the passive of energy, but the most powerful angel of all time, this was not enough, as Mikoshin's energy veins were so powerful that the seals were not able to stop his energy. End flashback.
I feel like millions of years have passed, and despite all this, my power has continued in a constant growth. Not like in the outside world, but I'm sure to finish with every one of you damn garbage.
Returning to Kakarot's training, together with Daishinkan, Kakarot had achieved an incredible resistance. So much so that even on this occasion, the blows of the Great Priest at 50% of all his power were able to wound him levemente. They were not serious wounds, and likewise Kakarot's physique had increased in an incredible way.
We've only been training for a few months and you've reached an incredible power.
All this has been thanks to you, Master.
At that moment, that Daishinkan was about to say something, an unreal power would be felt even in that room. That's right, at that moment, the last seal had been destroyed, with which at that moment of liberation, it would create a megaversal level explosion, with which it would destroy everything in its path. Instantly, Daishinkan would put on a very serious look.
This can't be. Mikoshin's power has returned to the 12 universes.
Daishinkan, along with Kakarot, would return to the Kingdom of the All, observing how disasters by the 12 universes were caused. At the same time of leaving, Kakarot would be surprised by the pressure that was felt throughout the Kingdom of the All.
Kakarot, get out of here, as things are about to get real ugly.
Kakarot, not understanding anything, would quickly leave the Kingdom of the All, but being far away, an incredible woman in the form of lightning would be able to take him by the head, and an even greater power would make him crash into the Kingdom of the All.
Not a fly will get out of this pathetic place. I will finish every one of you miserable good-for-nothing worms.
Daishinkan at the moment, without trusting in the slightest, would begin to access his maximum power, which Mikoshin would not be the least bit. Instantly, an incredible power would be felt throughout the Kingdom of the All, so much so that even Zeno-sama would leave his palace being surprised, to realize that it was the powerful Mikoshin. At that moment, again, an incredible power would begin for the existence of the cosmos. Meanwhile, all the gods and angels would quickly, likewise, come to the Kingdom of the All.
I can't believe it! Mikoshin-sama and her father, despite being sealed millions of years ago, still has an incredible power.
At that moment, Daishinkan would fall to the ground with multiple wounds, and at the moment of standing up, large jets of blood would come out of his whole body. Kakarot, observing this, would get angry. However, at the moment, in the same way, a gigantic power would be felt all over the place. That's right, the gods had merged into a single being, which, despite its appearance, had unique abilities, such as mind control and even stopping time for seconds. And for a being of his level, it was enough time to end any being.
I am the union of all the gods, and I am known as the divine god. So get ready, Mikoshin. It doesn't matter that you have been a powerful warrior before at this moment. We will finish with you.
At that moment, both warriors likewise began to exchange blows, but Mikoshin was only playing with fusion, which in each exchange of blows was losing the desired fight, and even his killing techniques did not take effect before the powerful Mikoshin, which even possessed an overwhelming power, which he had not shown. At that moment, the divine god would fall to the ground on the verge of death. Kakarot would come to his aid, but at the moment of being in his aid, a large sphere of energy would end the life of the fusion of all the gods. At the instant of Kakarot observing all this, and even remembering the battle he had against the god Beerus, an uncontrollable anger would detach from his entire body. That's right, the power that Kakarot kept asleep would wake up completely, not letting any being be able to get close. At the moment, Mikosha would start laughing manically. The damn trash is raising his power a little more because he wanted to end the life of the other trash. No matter that he raises his power a little, he won't be able to face me. Kakarot's power was raising in an incredible way. Instantly, Kakarot had reached a new level of the Ultra Instinct. That's right, this was the level 2 of that transformation. But Kakarot knew that with that power, he would not be able to face the goddess. But he resists the power of the Ultra Instinct in its Divine Phase level 3. Don't go to fail me, body! At that moment, Kakarot's incredible power would skyrocket in an incredible way. So much so that on this occasion, Mikoshin herself would be surprised by all the power she was unleashing. Who the hell is this Saiyan? How can he have a greater power than Daishinkan himself? Kakarot has an amazing power, but even with that great power, he won't be able to cope with it, so it'll be better to merge with my guardians. At that moment, Zeno-sama would merge with each of his guardians to obtain an incredible power, which would finish destroying all the planets of the 12 universes with the exception of one, in which the family of evil was located, which had increased its power in an amazing way in these 3 years. At the moment, an incredible explosion would be observed, and from the smoke, Kakarot could be observed, which would have a very cold and intimidating look. Kakarot at that moment, without mediating words, would be able to connect an incredible blow which, with the power he possessed, was able to send Mikoshin to one of the nearby stars, destroying it completely. Mikoshin at the moment of standing up was only able to observe the fist of the Saiyan, which would begin to lash out with all its power towards the angel, which on this occasion was suffering incredible damage. Kakarot would charge a large sphere of energy with the intention of ending his life. But at that instant, chaos would form all over the Zeno-sama universe. That's right, the mighty Mikoshin was accessing 50% of all her beastly power, which was able to even deflect the power that Kakarot had thrown at her. What the hell? I can't take in the power of this damn goddess possesses! While Mikoshin raised her power, Kakarot would approach all the divine beings, which were the king of the all, Daishinkan, and the angels. I want you to go very far away place, where this damn crazy person won't be able to find you. I'll take care of making time for you. I trust you.
Kakarot, don't tell me you're thinking of sacrificing yourself to finish off Mikoshin.
Don't worry, Master. The powerful Saiyan who is born with the Ultra Instinct will not die, as he has many more pending battles. Now leave! The warriors, led by Zeno-sama, were moved away at an incredible speed from Zeno-sama's planet. Mikoshin, realizing this, would quickly throw a large sphere of energy which Kakarot was able to distinguish without any effort. At that moment, Kakarot would stand in front of Mikoshin. If you want to finish them, you have to finish me first! You're a scumbag next to me, so I'll be done with you in a matter of seconds. Kakarot and Mikoshin at that moment began to exchange blows at amazing speeds, which were not able to distinguish who had the advantage. But the entire spiritual sea of Kakarot was being severely destroyed by the excess energy. Kakarot would focus all his power in a single blow. Receive this! Fist of the Dragon! An incredible dragon would come to make Mikoshin travel through all that once were the 12 universes, while Kakarot, with the little energy he had left, would leave in an energy sphere in which he had lost all his power, falling to a planet on the verge of death. Yeah, my body hurts too much. I'm not able to take all this pain. Meanwhile, Mikoshin would continue to be involved in such a powerful attack, with which she had to use 75% of all her power, because if she didn't, she would be reduced to mere dust. At the moment Mikoshin disappeared the technique, she was furious. I'll never forget this humiliation. I can't believe that I, the mighty Mikoshin, has been defeated by a scumbag like you. Mikoshin was raising his power in an incredible way. So much was his power that the whole place was involved in hundreds of catastrophes, while Kakarot was involved in a large sphere of energy heading towards a remote place in the vast universe. At the moment, Kakarot would fall to a planet being dragged by hundreds of rocks. At the moment, large amounts of blood could be observed all over the place. Using the power beyond a god has affected my body to suffer great consequences. I think in a week or so I won't be able to use... Meanwhile, with all the other warriors, they were on a planet created by Daishinkan-sama himself. Father, what are we going to do? Mikoshin has the power more than ever, and this time, there's no god to create the divine seal.
This is a big problem, but if Kakarot has this incredible power, we must revive his father, who will have a power comparable to that of the great Zeno-sama is right, and with all of us, we'll be able to finish off Mikoshin once and for all.
Are you sure about what you're saying, Daishinkan? Because in spite of everything, she still is your wife and the mother of all angels.
I'm sure of what I have told you, great Zeno-sama. I cannot allow Mikoshin to wipe out everything existing in the multiverse.
However, even from the distance they were, an overwhelming power was perceived, that is, the power of a subject who is able to be above everything, and this power belonged to Mikoshin, who was furious being humiliated by a simple Saiyan. I swear I'll find you. I don't care that this is one of the other worlds that will end every one of your hopes of existence. However, at that precise moment, a power which did not lose against Mikoshin would be felt all over the place. He even seemed to overcome her. From a dark portal resembling an underworld, a Saiyan-looking warrior would appear, being Bardock, Kakarot's father, who had not been able to revive due to never dying.
So, after millions of years, I'm back to my original timeline, but apparently even Kakarot, with all the power he possesses, hasn't been able to do anything.
Flashback. At the time of the explosion, the planet Vegeta, Bardock would be absorbed by a space-time rift, being sent hundreds of years into the past, in which he had a great confrontation with Frieza's ancestor. From that moment, the legend of the Super Saiyan was born. However, at the time, there were also angels, gods, but beings of that time were called supreme gods, or also known as angelic gods, which a powerful goddess named Beerus would realize the fierce training that Saiyan took every day to overcome his powers. However, the angelic goddess was already observing that Saiyan for several weeks and even months. It's time to train that Saiyan, since I want to know how much more about him. At that moment, the powerful goddess Beerus would quickly move to where the same Bardock was, offering to train him. Bardock, realizing that his power was incredible, would accept without thinking 2 times. So it was with the Saiyan Bardock he would train with Beerus, who had been able to achieve an abominable power, with which he was able to even defeat a king at all. However, Mikoshin's power was so great that he had even distorted the barrier between space and time.
That power is where I come from, and I think it's time to come back.
Bardock, please don't leave. The perceived power is incredible.
Beerus, I have no choice. Not even my son Kakarot, who was born with the Ultra Instinct, was able to do something to him.
And flashback. Bardock would appear in front of Mikoshin, who would be very surprised due to the incredible power that the warrior gave off. But without thinking, she would launch into her attack, realizing that her appearance was identical to that of that Saiyan who had humiliated her. However, everyone was surprised, even the divine beings, who were observing everything, realizing how that warrior was able to stop Mikoshin's blow with just one of his hands without any difficulty. This is impossible! How are you able to match me in physical strength? This must be a nightmare. Bardock, without saying a single word, would throw a powerful blow, which on this occasion was able to make Mikoshin see death up close, seeing everything was spinning while large amounts of blood came out of his entire body. But the greatest damage was inside, as he was able to eliminate hundreds of veins of energy where the key.
Mikoshin, you're no match for me, so be thankful that I don't want to end your pathetic life, and get the hell out of here before I regret it.
I understand, you have great physical strength, but you don't have enough energy power to finish me. Then, I have nothing to fear. Mikoshin, despite all the pathetic state he was in, he would continue with the fight, believing that Bardock did not have the reserves to end his life. But at the moment, everything would change, because at that moment, Bardock would give a big smile and access the Ultra Instinct, with which his power would grow in an incredible way. So much that even the pressure made the powerful Mikoshin fall to a planet.
Of course he has enough energy reserved to finish you, but I want my son Kakarot to be the one to finish you, since this is not your final angel, Mikoshin.
Meanwhile, all the warriors were amazed due to such incredible power that warrior had given off.
For that reason, I was not able to bring him to life. Kakarot's father never died, but the power he possesses is unreal. I'm not able to assimilate it.
But why don't I finish with her? He has the power to do it. Returning to the battlefield, Bardock from an attack had sent her flying to be collapsed by a planet.
Well, I think it's time to meet up with some of the beings who have survived that damn crazy, since luckily they're all in the same place.
Bardock, a moment later, would appear in front of them, who would be on guard, not knowing the intentions of the Saiyan. However, despite the barrier they had placed, he was not able to withstand a single one of Bardock's blows, which at that instant would return to his base state.
I want to inform you that I'm not here with bad intentions. I want to inform you that the powerful angel Mikoshin has been neutralized for a while. Were we able to realize that? But why haven't you finished with her once and for all? Because the Mikoshin from the Kolvengo timeline, she has a pure heart, unlike this Mikoshin who has been corrupted by a very negative energy.
Mikoshin was corrupted by the power of the first king of all.
Don't worry. If something happens, I'll be here to be able to help you in whatever comes up. But I have to assure you that my presence is not necessary.
Why is he so sure that the presence won't be needed?
Since the being who defeats Mikoshin and makes her return to the right path will be Kakarot.
Meanwhile, Kakarot had been able to recover completely, but the place where he had fallen was the place of the powerful Jamura, a being that even the kings did not dare to face due to his uncontrollable power, and even how wild he was in combat.
How interesting. Apparently a being from another multiverse has appeared in my world. This will be very funny. Send to the border stage 2.
My lord, are you sure you want me to send the level 2 defenders? That Saiyan doesn't even reach level 1.
Something tells me that this guy has a lot of power, and I want to check if he can overcome the defenses at level 2.
As you order, my lord. Instantly, 4 warriors would stand in front of Kakarot, who was very serious while meditating.
They better leave if they don't want to get in trouble, since I'm not in the mood. I was defeated by a fucking angel, and I plan to return that humiliation.
The 4 warriors, regardless of Kakarot's words, would rush over towards him. However, Kakarot, with a single movement, was able to finish them off, each of them.
They're just worms. They're not even good enough for warming up.
This can't be. In a matter of seconds, his power rose in an impressive way. So much so that he was able to finish off the level 2 warriors.
That was to be expected. The power that he saved was incredible. I can safely say that he'd be able to even beat a Guardian level 100 Supreme.
No, my lord, that's already an exaggeration. You are correct that he possesses great power, but it's not a power for so much. I want to prove the opposite to him. Anagari, Supreme Guardian level 100. Go and confront the intruder.
As you order, Zeno-sama.
The new warrior would stand in front of Kakarot, but unlike the other 4, this warrior was able to expel an incredible power. So much so that he was able to almost make Kakarot fall to his knees, which would instantly access the Ultra Instinct, but the condensed ki was crazy since his power had risen in a surprising way.
I'll show you that you're nobody compared to me.
At that moment, Kakarot and Angari began to clash fists, which destroyed several planets of Jamura's territory. My lord, in a matter of 30 seconds, they've destroyed 3 planets. Do you want me to stop them?
No, Neen, don't worry, because the warrior's worth it.
The battle of the warriors was getting very even, because the powerful warrior was not left behind the power of Kakarot, which in exchange of blows was able to overcome by a large guardian. Instantly, Kakarot would fall to the ground with great power, but instantly a large sphere of energy was heading towards Kakarot, which without thinking about the consequences would access the Ultra Instinct Phase 3, being able to stop all that incredible power.
It's time to stop playing games. I'm gonna finish you once and for all and leave this damn place.
Your power grew in an incredible way, but you're still not enough power to stand up to me. Compared to me, you're still pathetic.
But at that moment, Kakarot's fist had been embedded in the entire stomach of Angari, who, due to the power of that furtive blow, was sent flying to a planet, destroying it completely.
What the hell just happened? I was not able to see anything.
Angari, furious, would begin to exchange blows with Kakarot, but on this occasion, Kakarot's power was much superior to Anagari's power, which even this power began to decrease with the passage of the battle. After only 10 minutes of battle, the difference in powers had been clear, because Kakarot did not have any scratches while Anagari was kneeling on the ground.
This is impossible. I'm one of the most powerful warriors of the great Jamura. I can't lose against a simple Saiyan.
You haven't lost to a simple Saiyan. You lost to the best, so you don't have to feel bad. Now I'll end your suffering.
Kakarot in that moment rains blows to leave him very badly injured, and a lightning storm would be capable of ending Anagari's life. However, at that instant, a much greater power would be felt, which even on this occasion made Kakarot fall to the ground without being able to move.
What the hell? Why is it every time I end up with a powerful guy, a more powerful one appears?
The entrance of the new warrior would even create a huge explosion. An extremely powerful being was about to appear in front of Kakarot, who would realize the bestial power possessed by that warrior. Because, despite not yet reaching the battlefield, he felt such incredible power, at the moment, an extremely fast being would stand in front of Kakarot, who would be surprised by the incredible speed he possessed. Because despite being in his most powerful phase, he was not able to see it coming clearly.
Who the hell are you? How are you able to release all that incredible power?
That's none of your business, but I'll have to end your life, as my king Jamura had ordered me to, and his order is absolute.
I'm not gonna give up my life without a fight, so you better get ready. I'm not a guy you can easily crush.
The warrior, who would seem to have the appearance of a teenager, would say absolutely nothing, but with a single movement, he was able to cause incredible damage to Kakarot, who was repelled against the mountains, falling heavily.
Apparently I was wrong with you. You were right, Nin. The power of Guardian Supreme level 100 is still very big for him.
Don't worry, my lord, but it's amazing that I was able to withstand a level 100 hit. Kakarot would recover from the blow very hardly, which he would realize that his entire internal system had been seriously injured in a single blow.
Damn, this guy looks like he's going to kill me. I have to access my most primitive side. It's not something I like to do since I don't control power in that way. But if I don't, I'll die here.
The incredible power of Kakarot would begin to rise in an incredible way, and having total knowledge of the Saiyan race, he did not have the need to see the full moon to transform. That's right, Kakarot was accessing the power of the Ozaru, but he was only in transition because at that moment, he was able to observe how Kakarot was accessing the Super Saiyan Kills Gods. That's right, was the name that gave him that transformation, because he was able to even end the life of a priest with a single blow. Instantly, from a gigantic explosion, Kakarot could be observed, who was looking very serious, while the whole place was shaking around him.
I don't like to access this transformation, because I don't control my strength, but you've shown me that you're a warrior who's able to withstand this power.
Kakarot, at an incredible speed, would throw a blow at him, but at that moment, the Guardian was able to dodge him with some difficulty, but without staying behind, he would try to grant a blow, which was stopped by Kakarot. That's how it was, as both at that moment began to exchange blows at incredible speeds. The power they gave off was unreal.
I must admit that you have a better perception than me, Nin, but I've never been wrong when it comes to geniuses.
Nin would be very surprised by all the power that the body of the Saiyan was able to withstand, because in the multiverse of Zeno-sama, Mikosha was looking at Bardock because he did not accept the beating he had given him. That damn Saiyan dared to hit me! I had never seen his face, and he dared to hit a priestess like I am! Mikosha, furious that not finding Bardock would raise her power to be able to cause disasters throughout the multiverse. However, in the vast universe, the reflection of a few eyes could be observed, which even made Mikosha tremble with fear.
I am totally watching you, Mikosha. You have nowhere to hide. You've never had a chance against me, so you better change that attitude or I'll end your life.
Mikosha, at the moment of being about to say something, a blow of pressurized air would be able to send her flying to a star which was very close, being crashed with an incredible brutality, which at the moment of getting up, large pools of blood could be observed. I never forgive you for this, you scum! I'll end your life! I promise I'll pulverize every one of your bones! Meanwhile, Bardock and all the other divine beings were carrying out an incredible training, which Bardock was in charge of each of the gods to raise their power in an amazing way.
Apparently you all have great learning speed, but despite all this, you have not been able to grant me a hit. Is the power of a simple Saiyan much superior to yours?
At the moment of everyone pouncing against Bardock, a portal would be created in front of it, which gave off an extremely incredible power. Bardock would access quickly the Ultra Instinct, which the pressure was of an incredible level. All the other beings had been crushed as if they were simple worms.
Who the hell are you? Don't you know these beings are under my care?
That hurts, Bardock. How is it possible that you haven't recognized my power?
Oh, serious? Your power is much more hostile than the last time I saw you. Have you been trained?
That's right. I've been training to have the necessary power to defeat a king-level Saiyan like you are. Daishinkan, who had recognized Sirius, would be surprised because the legends told of the angelic gods were in totally different dimensions.
No, I can't believe it. The powerful Zeno-sama is in front of us. This is crazy. How should you act before an entity as powerful as you are?
Don't worry, priest. If you think I'm powerful, you don't know the true power of the Saiyan in front of you, as the Saiyan is capable of defeating me. Daishinkan would be much more surprised to realize that the power of the Saiyan that was in front of him was much greater than that of the power of Sirius, for which it was said to be the first angelic goddess had no rival. Something in this timeline has called Mikosha to be completely evil, and that only is because the first king is still alive. That's impossible, because for a new being to take the place of the king at all, the predecessor should have died.
Sure.
That's what the rules say. But the first king of all, by the name of Sukori, possessed an absolute evil, so I doubt that the chains of the underworld were able to hold him.
In that case, that's what you guys are saying? What could we do? We can end his life. It's the best option for even Mikoshin to return to normal. From what I understand, Mikoshin wanted to overthrow the king of all Zeno-sama, but that meant that all the collected power would wait for a new bearer. That's the answer. Sukori hasn't regained all his power yet, a power just as great as his. It must have left him very badly injured. That's why I manipulate Mikoshin.
Of course! So that's how they annihilate Zeno-sama, and thus be able to feed on all the vital energy of Zeno-sama and everything collected in millions of years. Returned to the battlefield, Kakarot, despite using all his power, had not been able to defeat the Guardian. Kakarot was in terrible condition. You're able to prove to me that you possess incomparable power. For that simple merit, you can leave. I can tell you're an honorable warrior. Why are you in this place? A bastard Jamura is holding my whole family captive. So if I rebel, my whole family will be annihilated. But if I leave, they'll end your life anyway. You have a bright future. Despite being so young, you have this incredible power. You're worthy of the supreme power. I'll bet my life on you. Kakarot, at an incredible speed, would leave the place quickly, while the Guardian would concentrate a large power out of his power in this incredible core. That's right, the moment the other soldiers headed towards the Guardian, an incredible explosion would be created. How pathetic. It's a shame that he ended up with his family several months ago. If he had known, he would have made them suffer. My lord, are you going to let that Saiyan leave? That's right, he has an impressive power, but he's not able to withstand mine. While Kakarot was flying all over the gigantic universe, his power was wearing out. Because his energy veins were almost empty, Kakarot, at that moment, was falling like a meteorite towards a planet. But at that moment, his father, who was able to feel his son's power, was able to intercept him.
I realize that all this time your life has been pure fights to the death. I'm proud of the power you possess, my little Kakarot.
Kakarot, without being able to say something, he would be out of combat. Bardock would quickly return where everyone else was, and by the time he arrived, a few days had passed, in which all the divine warriors had achieved incredible power. However, at the moment, Kakarot had awakened his power was so much that he was able to freeze everything around him. And in the same way, by releasing his pressure, he made all the angels fall. With the exception of Daishinkan, however, it was difficult for him to stand, while for Bardock and Sirius was a simple breeze. Bardock, your son is very powerful. Despite his young age, he has been able to reach this limit. Is he definitely your son of the King of Level Saiyan? What is a King Level Saiyan? Just like all gods and angels are classified by hierarchies, the level of your power that your father has is the most powerful and insurmountable being in our world, and King Level is told to beings who have never known the defeat. Kakarot would be shocked to know that his father was such a powerful warrior.
Kakarot, you like me need to activate the king level. which even goes far beyond the Ultra Instinct, and even the Super Saiyan Kill Gods, as you call it, yours.
So, do you even know that this is my most powerful transformation?
That's right. As long as I'm more powerful than you, you'll not be able to hide your true power from me, since I'm able to analyze all your energy flow.
Bardock would immediately access the Super Saiyan, with which he would ask his son to attack him. Kakarot, a little upset at being underestimated in this way, launched his attack, but as if it were a lightning bolt, Bardock's fist was embedded in Kakarot's stomach, which, despite possessing the Ultra Instinct, was not able to do anything before the incredible speed of his father. Kakarot would fall to the ground very badly injured. How is it possible that you're able to cause me all this damage?
My power as a Super Saiyan is hundreds of times greater than your power, so it stands to reason that I'd be able to take you down in one fell swoop.
But in the whole place, an incredible rumble would be felt while everything was destroyed. That's right, the powerful Mikoshin, who was able to find shelter where they were. However, totally they looked different in person, because since she had been mutated, her face looked like that she had received severe burns.
Mikoshin, what the hell happened to you? I can't believe you accepted the negative power of the first king at all.
No matter the beauty, what matters is the power, since the strong always crushes the weak. What matters most in any universe is this power. Bardock, let me shut the fuck up to this.
No, Sirius, I will personally take care of this crazy energy.
Bardock would immediately access the Ultra Instinct, with which the pressure this time was much more powerful. But Mikoshin would not be left behind, because at that moment, he would raise his power in an incredible way, which did not lose against the power of Bardock.
Damn, I don't want to lose that much power, but this won't be easy at all.
The great power of the incredible Mikoshin was perceived all over the place. The power was so much that even on this occasion, great lightning would even cause the whole sky to split into several parts, hinting at the incredible power of Mikoshin, because this catastrophe only happened with beings which exceeded the King, God, Emperor level, which was an incredible power from beings from the multiverse of Zeno-sama.
Hell, despite using the Ultra Instinct, I don't know if I'll be able to beat her with this power, but I don't want to use the King level. That wears out a lot of vitality.
Mikoshin, without holding back in the slightest, lashing out against Bardock, which at the moment of bending his head could be observed as several mountains behind his back were destroyed. That's right, Mikoshin's power had been totally overwhelming. Bardock, despite the astonishment, would pull himself together and throw a blow which Mikoshin was able to stop with one of his hands, and at the moment, he would throw a large sphere of energy through his mouth, which was able to send Bardock flying all over the universe. Sirius, to realize all this, would, with a great part of all his power, with which he would instantly grant him 100 blows, which Mikoshin would receive without defending herself any little. Are you giving me a message? Since your simple strokes are a little breeze, you do absolutely nothing to me. Daishinkan, witnessing this, would be surprised to know that even Sirius had not had enough power to finish off Mikoshin, and even his fists had been useless. Bardock, of an incredible roar, would be capable of causing hundreds of catastrophes all over the place. And at the moment, Bardock had accessed the Super Saiyan King, which his hair was a purple color, similar to the Hawkeye energy of destruction.
Mikoshin, I don't know how you got all that dark power, but I plan to defeat you, so I have to sacrifice myself. I won't let you end this whole multiverse.
Don't make me laugh. Do you have the necessary power to restrain me?
We won't know that until we check it. Only then will we be able to know if you're more powerful than me.
Bardock would disapprove of the place, which would begin to exchange hundreds of blows with Mikoshin, which on this occasion made hundreds of planets from all universes rumble, even reaching the territories of the Great Jamura.
What the hell's going on? I feel like two gigantic powers are facing each other. Those powers are capable of making me use 50% of all my power.
My lord, the powers that are facing are a Saiyan and the mighty Mikoshin.
Oh, interesting. Another Saiyan who's been able to surpass the King level. This is something that catches my attention.
Returning to the battlefield at the moment, Mikoshin would receive a great blow which would send her flying to a planet, destroying it completely. But as if it were a bolt of lightning, Mikoshin had cracked the space itself, due to her great speed, and in the same way, with his great power, he'd been able to hit a big blow to Bardock. But he would spit out large amounts of blood, and even all his internal energy had become chaos, which forced him to return to his base state. In terrible conditions, Mikoshin, realizing this, would begin to grant him shrapnel of blows, which did not allow Bardock to recover completely. At the moment, Bardock would cross multiple mountains, and instantly a big explosion would be created all over the place. However, Bardock, the king-level Saiyan, had been saved by his son Kakarot.
No, Kakarot! This is impossible for you! Even Bardock, who has surpassed the King Emperor level, has been able to defeat her. It'll be impossible for you! Ha ha ha! Impossible for me? Do not compare your limitations with mine, because I have no barrier. I'll even now overcome the power of my father. I'll become a legend!
Kakarot, while walking, his whole body was engulfed in flames, hinting at the overwhelming power that he possessed. Instantly, of a big explosion, it could be observed how Mikoshin had fallen to a planet very badly injured, and on the verge of death. That's right, in this occasion, the powerful Mikoshin was not able to see absolutely anything.
Damn, where did you get so much power from? You were just another piece of trash, which I defeated without any difficulty. I regret to inform you that the Kakarot you fought with has died, as this time the power I possess exceeds by hundreds of times the power I possessed before.
But Kakarot would just as well release a big gulp of blood.
The power you possess is amazing, but as I could tell, it is not a power that you are capable of controlling, so I have to endure the battle, and this will be my victory.
Kakarot, with much more aggressiveness, would begin to exchange hundreds of blows with Mikoshin, who on this occasion was getting a beating. The instant she fell to the ground, she would recover.
Great Supreme God and First King of everything, I beg you to grant me much more power. If I want you to come back to life, I need the necessary power to end these vermin.
Instantly, an incredible pressure would be felt all over the place, while Mikoshin's entire body started to deform due to all the energy he was releasing, while his body mutated much more.
Kakarot, it's time to accept defeat. We better leave and come up with a plan to end this dam. I am the Saiyan prodigy who was born with the Ultra Instinct. I know nothing of my true power. Even though you use the Supreme Saiyan God Slayer, you won't be able to do anything. Your father, who even possesses the Emperor rank, didn't even scratch him.
Kakarot's whole body would shudder from all the incredible power he was releasing, while at that moment, all Kakarot's hair would turn a black color, but he seemed to be transformed into Super Saiyan. However, the energy that was perceived from it was disgusting and negative.
What the hell is this power? I'm not able to move. Observe for yourself the power that goes beyond a king-level emperor. I'm a galactic-level Saiyan, beings for which you are still gods.
Kakarot, with his incredible power, was able to grant him a single blow in the center of his body, making Mikoshin writhe from pain, all while his power went out of control, and in the same way, all the negative energy in his body was expelled. After a few minutes, a big flash would form all over the place, while Mikoshin had returned to normal at the moment that everyone was about to approach, and the sky could be observed as an essence was releasing a power which seemed to have no limit.
Damn Saiyan, you've been able to defeat Mikoshin's dam, but that won't be enough for you to defeat me, the first king at everything.
Daishinkan would be surprised to realize that in front of him, he had the authentic king of the whole, who was the one chosen to rule everything created by the Creator God.
What happened to you? Since the true king of all does not have to possess this kind of energy, why do I force you to desire to wipe out everything created? It's not that your interest, but now I'll end your pathetic life, and I'll be the god of ruin, the god of death, since all this will turn into hell. This will only happen if you have the power to defeat me.
Mikoto, which was the name of the first king of the whole, with a strong kick was able to hit Kakarot, but in the same way he'd be able to surprise to realize how Kakarot had been able to stop his kick. However, this had broken all the bones in his arm, but Kakarot did not show any pain.
I can see why you defeated Mikoshin, but aside from me, that won't be enough because right now, I'm gonna end your whole pathetic existence.
Kakarot, with his negative energy, would quickly restore his arm and would begin to exchange blows with Mikoto, which seemed to have a somewhat even battle. However, Kakarot's power, as the battle progressed, began to wear out, or rather began to take its own existence, since the negative power had a high price.
I don't plan to let my son die. I know this is not much power, but I plan to give him every drop of my energy.
Angels, all of you, surrender your power, because it depends on Kakarot that all of us live or perish in this place. All the surviving beings of the Zeno-sama multiverse began to send all their power towards Kakarot, and even at that moment, the powerful Mikoshin would begin to send all her power. Kakarot, I appreciate that you didn't end my life, but I'm that bastard who played with several generations, and only you have enough power to achieve it. All those powers began to enter Kakarot's body, which was beginning to be filled with an incredible power. Meanwhile, Mikoto was beginning to retreat because Kakarot's blows at each moment were much more powerful than the previous ones. At the moment, Kakarot was able to grant the first accurate blow to Mikoto, which made him fall to the ground very badly injured. Damn mortal! How dare you put your dirty hands on the face of a true king of all! I'll never forgive you for this! I'll pulverize your whole soul! I don't mind dying in this place, but I'll take you with me in the afterlife. Both warriors, without worrying about their defense, began to exchange millions of blows, which both had an incredible damage. Kakarot at the moment would execute one of his most powerful techniques. Blow of the Dragon of Death! A large dark dragon would come down from the upper part of the universe, reaching Mikoto successfully. At the moment, thousands of rays would pass through his entire body, leaving him very badly injured, but not being enough to end his life. Damn, that hurt too much. But what did you think about this? Megaversal Destroyer! An incredible attack which looked at a sun, due to the size, would be thrown towards Kakarot and the others, who all resigned themselves to witnessing the beastly size. Kakarot, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened to me, or when I let myself be controlled by him, but none of this would happen if you had ended my life. Haha, don't worry, Mikoshin. He won't end anyone's life, as I've been able to reach my maximum destructive power. Kakarot would create a giant cloud of darkness, which would enter his entire body. So much was the power he collected from all the universes, and even from the universe of the powerful Jamura, he had collected some negative energy, with which his power had raised to incredible scales. The negative power can also be used in this way, to end the being of negative energy as you are. Die once and for all! Now you'll not be part of the world of the living or the dead! You'll be exterminated! In Kakarot's palm, a purple power would be thrown, with great power being able to destroy Mikoto's attack with extreme ease. Mikoto, being a king at all, would try to erase the power that was coming towards him, but it was impossible for him, since King at all is not able to eliminate a Pod which exceeds his power. Kakarot's incredible attack was able to reduce them to simple atoms. At the moment, Kakarot's whole body would likewise expel too much black blood due to the negative energy that he had embedded in his entire internal system. Damn, Kakarot was able to beat the first king completely, but the damage he received is of another level. We won't be able to do anything for him to survive.
No, damn it. I'm not gonna let Kakarot die. I'd rather give up my life. My little Kakarot won't die.
Kakarot's entire body was fading, but at that moment, Nin would appear in front of everyone, and even with great power, greater than that of the first king of all. I will introduce myself. My name is Nin. I know you must not know anything about me, but we along with my ruler were trained by the Creator God.
I'm not interested in knowing who you are. Now I just want to save my son's life.
That very reason my ruler has sent me here, as he wants me to save this Saiyan's life. Apparently has piqued his interest. Nin would approach Kakarot, and running a great creative energy, he'd be able to make all the cell phones in the body recover until he had recovered every drop of his power. That's it. I've compiled with my master's order. Now I'm retiring. Nin, as if were a meteorite, would disappear from the place at an incredible speed. While everyone was taking Kakarot to a better place for him to recover, everyone was surprised to learn that there were beings much more powerful than even the Emperor Kings. I don't know why I wanted to help that Saiyan, but I hope he has the life that I could never have. He has an incredible power and is worthy of my respect.
"70 million years ago, there was an unimaginable void without any life, when suddenly emerged a being which didn't know it was himself where he was. What's going on? What am I? I can't see anything. What is this immense void?" What he didn't know was, until that moment, was that he was an omnipotent being who was going to create everything known as the universe.
He would even create a whole multiverse full of different types of life in order to find at some point an individual who could match or surpass the strength of his son called Zeno-sama. In Zeno-sama's palace, 30 million years after the birth of Zeno-sama's father, he introduces himself to his son.
Zeno-sama, my son, you've grown strong and apparently you've become very powerful over the centuries.
Father, I've always felt that my existence has no purpose. I often get bored. Why did you bring me to life to be bored?
70 million years ago, there was a void from which I was created. As I grew, I developed powers and immeasurable strength. As a result of that, a need was born in me to find a being who could match or surpass your strength, to even equal my own greatness. That's why I created planets, galaxies, universes, and living beings of various species.
All this was created just so that I could exist?
Yes, my son. Every star, every life form, everything has a purpose. To prepare you to be the supreme god of all that I've created. You're the main reason for all my creation.
It's a heavy burden, Father. Why me?
Because in you, I see the true potential to rule in this vast cosmos. You are the hope to maintain harmony among the creations that have sprung from my being. You are the missing piece in this cosmic chest.
Father, all this that you tell me is an enormous responsibility. I don't know if I'm ready to be able to do it. What if I fail?
There is no failure, son. Your very existence is success. Every moment in your life has molded you into the supreme being that you are. I trust you will fulfill your destiny.
What about you, Father? What role do you play in all this?
My role is to guide you from the shadows, to watch you fulfill your purpose. Finding balance in the universe is a task that requires your leadership. I'll be here, in the darkness, watching you carry out the mission I have given you.
I understand, Father. Leave everything in my hands.
Thus passed centuries, millennia, in which Zeno-sama was guided by his father to govern the immense multiverse he had created for him, but now convinced of the purpose he had in his life. In the present time, 30 million years after the conversation that Zeno-sama and his father had, in one of the universes created by Father Zeno, on a planet called Earth, Kakarot and Vegeta were training together with Whis and Beerus after having faced very powerful beings. While they were training, the Earth was illuminated by flashes of energy. As Kakarot and Vegeta embark on intense training, Whis and Beerus watch from a distance, assessing the Saiyans' every move as they prepare to rise in their skills.
Hey, Vegeta! Remember when we first faced Frieza? That guy was incredibly strong.
Yes, Kakarot, it was our first encounter with an enemy of another level, but we cannot forget the cell bug, that creature with cells from all of us. He put us in big trouble with his martial arts tournament. Luckily, your son became strong.
Both Saiyans exchanged energy blasts. Each hit and dodge was an echo of their long history of battles.
Ah, yes! The first time you showed the teleportation technique. That was amazing! Thanks to Gohan, we were able to defeat him.
But then came Majin Buu. That battle was unforgettable. We had to merge to have a chance.
The fusion was great, but we also learned about redemption and kindness at that time. Buu became good because of you.
As they continue their training, the energy of both Saiyans light up the space. Whis and Beerus watch with interest.
Yes, but don't forget about Beerus. That god of destruction who almost wiped out the Earth with a single sneeze. Although in the end, he turned out to be more of a joker than we thought.
Yes, I remember when I tried to fight him in my Super Saiyan 3 form. I wasn't at his level, but at least I gave him a fight in my Super Saiyan God form, and that was possible thanks to all of you.
That's right, and now we're here, training with Whis and Beerus. We cannot let our guard down, Kakarot. There'll always be bigger challenges.
Exactly! Every fight makes us stronger. Let's keep training and bettering ourselves.
Of course. We're always one step closer to being the strongest warriors in the universe.
The training continues as Kakarot and Vegeta, under the tutelage of Whis and Beerus, strive to reach new levels of power in order to defend the Earth from new and more powerful enemies that may appear with the desire to destroy the planet that welcomed them. While Kakarot and Vegeta were training to overcome their limits, Whis and Beerus encouraged them to keep improving. Very good, Saiyans. Keep it up.
Yes, they're very strong. but I don't know if that'll be enough to keep my interest.
Suddenly, they feel a dark presence and the whole environment begins to become dark, and a dark, powerful presence fills the place.
What's going on, Mr. Whis? Something's not right. I feel an extremely powerful and dark presence.
That feeling sounds familiar. Who could it be?
The darkness intensifies, and suddenly an opposing figure appears in front of them like a shadowy nebula.
Inhabitants of the multiverse, have you missed me? Hello, dear inhabitants of the multiverse. I've come to observe progress of my creations.
Who is this guy?
I don't know, Kakarot, but his presence is overwhelming.
No way.
What?
The figure lingers in a shadowy haze, with the speaker being the father of Zeno-sama, the omnipotent being who created the multiverse. This one appears in all multiverse, where all the warriors were training for future problems.
This guy is the father of Zeno-sama, the creator of everything we know of universes beyond our imagination. I didn't think we'd ever see him.
Sir, your arrival is unexpected. Forgive the insolence, but to what do we owe you presents?
The inclination of Whis and all the angels of different universes is because they have knowledge of who was the father of Zeno-sama. For that reason, they have a great fear and respect for him.
I see you've been busy, warriors. You have faced great obstacles throughout your insignificant lives, but this time has come. Are you strong enough?
We're always up for a good challenge.
Shut up, Kakarot. Don't you feel how powerful he is? How can you say that? Haven't you noticed something missing in the multiverse?
At that moment, Zeno-sama's father set out to tell them the reason for the ambiguous question. Moments before Zeno's father appeared before the whole multiverse, he was very angry because when he woke up from the dream of millions of years, he was surprised that many things had happened that went against the main reason why he created the whole universe. Because of this, he appears before his son Zeno-sama. In the center of the realm of everything, the overwhelming presence of Zeno-sama's father eclipses space. His voice booms like thunder as he directs his fury towards his son Zeno-sama. The latter, visibly nervous, tries to defend himself as the tension between the two intensifies.
Zeno-sama, you failed in your duty as Supreme God. All the warriors of the multiverse have overstepped their bounds and now dare to call themselves gods. Gods? This is unacceptable!
Father, I understand that this is all being misunderstood, but...
There's no excuses, Zeno-sama. Your lack of authority has allowed inferior beings to rise above us. How dare you let them usurp the title of gods?
I'm sorry, Father. I did not intend for things to come to this point.
The anger in Father Zeno's voice increases. His tone becomes more defiant and contemptuous.
Your intention? Your weakness has sullied the name of our divinity. The only god here is me, and no one else should dare to call himself that. No one!
Father, I understand that I'm in your debt, but we can find another way to restore order.
Father Zeno's response is an explosion of contempt and fury.
You do not deserve the title of god at all. Your weakness has tainted my creation. Because of your incompetence, I must restore the balance, even if it means getting rid of you.
What? Father, please don't do it! There's so much I can still learn and improve! I can fix all of this!
Zeno-sama's imploration is lost in Father Zeno's cold determination.
It is already too late, Zeno. Weakness must be eradicated from existence for true power to prevail.
In an instant, Zeno-sama's father unleashes a blast of devastating energy that engulfs Zeno-sama and begins to tear him to shreds as he screams in pain.
No, Father, please! Ah!
Order has been restored. No one else will dare to challenge my supremacy. I will now take it upon myself to re-establish balance through my creation.
In the present day, in front of the terrified warriors, due to what Zeno-sama's father had informed them what had happened to his son Zeno-sama, a being they all adored and feared.
You insignificant beings now understand. Because of this, I will destroy all the timelines and universes that exist. I am a divine being, omnipotent, and I can do it. But I will give you a chance to fight for your lives. So I'll organize a tournament in which the strongest warriors of the entire multiverse will participate so that the power will prevail.
Earth 2024.
What? This can't be true.
Do you think we can face something like that, Mr. Piccolo?
Oh? We'll have to train a lot physically and, above all, mentally.
The idea of a tournament piques his interest, seeing the opportunity to test his own power and perhaps become even stronger. Thraxis Nocturne, planet sunk in the shadows.
A tournament, eh? Well, I'll show that true power is not limited to divine beings.
I won't let them destroy our future. I will fight in that tournament and protect my own.
A tournament with the strongest warriors, huh? It'll be my chance to show that the Saiyans are not insignificant beings. We will see who is truly divine in this tournament. My empire will prevail.
A competition between the strongest. Interesting. I was showed that the Metacoolers are superior in all universes.
Nigerian, a world with perpetually cloudy skies where storms of dark energy lash the surface.
Father, this tournament will be the perfect occasion to show you that my power surpasses yours. Perfect. I'll show my true power and wreak havoc in every corner of the multiverse. Destruction in a tournament. What a magnificent combination. I will be the ultimate warrior and subdue all under my rule. Let's fight. This tournament will be my stage to demonstrate the power I've obtained.
Dracoria, homeworld of the humanoid dragon warriors and the descendants.
The threat of destruction's overwhelming. My fire may not be enough to face its dark omnipotence.
A shadow that threatens to destroy everything. My ability to manipulate the darkness may not be enough. Even with my swordsmanship, facing an omnipotent divine being will be an unparalleled challenge. This divine being has the power to destroy everything I love. My fire will be my defense.
A divine threat. My control over thunderstorms will be enough. This will be a challenge like never before.
After seeing the various emotions and thoughts of the main participants of the tournament, Zeno-sama's father begins to explain the rules of this supposed tournament.
Minimal beings. The rules are simple. The tournament will be to the death. It'll be held in a timeless space where the laws of time and physics are temporarily suspended. The only way to eliminate an opponent is to make his heart stop. That is by killing him. There's no other way. In this tournament, it is either you or your rival. There's no limits on the use of skills. You must unleash your full potential without restriction, so as not to be destroyed in the process. I'll be the one who will watch over the whole process. The participant who wins will have the joy of facing me, putting his life and the life of his universe at stake. But I'm a PS deity, and I will bring him the opportunity to have a divine power similar to mine for a determined time. If he does not take the advantage of it, he will have to accept the consequences.
In spite of the uncertainty that the warriors have in front of what the father of Zeno-sama has said, some are excited and others are worried.
Wow, this sounds exciting! A tournament with fighters from all universes. It's gonna be great.
Why should we trust this tournament to be fair? By killing them?
So I can fight to the best of my ability. But killing beings that are just fighting for their lives is not nice.
I hope everything I've said has been clear to everyone. The only rule is that you have to kill your opponent so that they don't kill you. I want to make that clear. You will have to kill your opponent. The way we will check if you're worthy of calling yourselves gods.
Father Zeno disappears and everything returns to normal. You can see Kakarot's excited about the new enemy that is seen. It is very powerful. Vegeta, scared and worried about his family, angry with Kakarot.
Wow, that guy's incredibly strong. I'm excited to fight him in the next tournament.
Excited? Do you realize what's at stake, Kakarot? The enemy is dangerous, and we can't just underestimate him.
But Vegeta, that guy has awesome power. It's gonna be the best fight of our lives.
This is not a game, Kakarot. Do you realize that we're putting our families and the entire universe at risk?
I know it's serious, Vegeta, but it's also a chance to get better. Besides, Zeno-sama's father is excited about this.
I can't believe you're so carefree. My family's in danger and you're excited about a fight.
I'm not saying I'm not serious, Vegeta, but when an opportunity presents itself to measure our power, I can't resist.
You always think about the fight, don't you?
Sometimes I wish you had a little more responsibility.
Vegeta, I understand that you're worried about Bulma and Trunks, but trust that we can protect them.
I don't like the idea of someone else deciding about our lives.
I understand, Vegeta, but do you really think we can ignore this opportunity?
I'm not going to lose my family over a fight, but I also know that I can't stop you from getting excited about the battle. At that moment, the tension between Kakarot and Vegeta is palpable as they prepare to face the new enemy. While Kakarot is filled with excitement for the fight, Vegeta faces this situation with a mixture of fear and determination. Thus, the training of the entire multiverse for their survival of their species began. From the moment on, the most powerful warriors of all the universes began to train with greater intensity in order to save their universes and timelines. After having communicated with the entire multiverse from the realm of everything, the father of Zeno-sama would observe everything from a crystal screen, that the warriors were getting stronger and stronger. He sent his shadow warriors to slow down the process of them. But what is this feeling that stirs my supreme being? A mixture of fascination and disdain. It's inevitable that mortals yearn for more, that they aspire to surpass their boundaries. Yet some of these warriors are reaching levels I cannot allow. Their power threatens the balance I've established. It's enough that they're mere participants in my tournament. They must be contained. They must be eliminated before their ascensions endanger the stability of my creation. My shadow warriors, creatures of the shadow and executioners of my will travel throughout all the universes. They'll be my instruments to stop these reckless advances. I will not allow the power of these warriors to grow beyond the limits set by my divinity.
Father Zeno, we're here to receive your orders.
Shadow creatures, my loyal enforcers, the time has come. The universes pulsate with an energy that threatens to destabilize the order I've established. Mortal warriors, in their relentless pursuit of power, are rising to dangerous heights. Their progress must be halted.
Your orders are our will. How do you wish us to proceed?
Each of you will disperse among the universes. Your mission is to find those warriors who dare to exceed the limits imposed. There's no room for compassion. The threat must be eradicated. Annihilate them without mercy.
We will, Father Zeno. No warrior would be strong enough to defy your will.
The shadow creatures set off to every universe and timeline to destroy every warrior who would participate. Along the way, they encountered weak warriors who they destroyed with ease, strong and very powerful ones. It was dusk when suddenly the Earth's atmosphere trembled with an unnatural darkness. In the blink of an eye, shadow creatures emerged from the interdimensional shadows, ethereal and menacing beings that would challenge even the strength of the mightiest warriors. Kakarot and Vegeta, training on the vast battlefield of Earth, sensed the arrival of an ominous presence. Shadow creatures, their ethereal forms and eyes burning with the intensity of darkness, materialized before them.
What are you?
We are servants of Father Zeno. Your progress has been noted and must be halted.
The will of Father Zeno is the supreme law.
The warriors have exceeded the allowable limits and will now be destroyed.
The shadow creatures moved with an agility that defied logic, leaving behind them trails of darkness. Kakarot and Vegeta prepared for the confrontation, their energies flashing in response to the threatening presence.
Well, it looks like we have new opponents. This should be interesting.
No matter who sends them, we'll not allow them to stop our progress. The shadow creatures, speechless, rushed towards Kakarot and Vegeta with flashing speed. The battle ahead would not only be a test of strength, but a struggle between light and darkness, between the determination of the warriors and the will of the father of Zeno-sama. The battle rages and the environment, plants, stones, and sky are witness to the incredible demonstration of power. Kakarot and Vegeta, deploying a great amount of ki, are in the center ready to face the two mysterious shadow warriors that attack them. Shadow Creature 1 moves at breakneck speed, leaving only flashes of darkness in its wake. Its form is ethereal, almost impossible to follow with the eye. It attacks with incredible precision, throwing punches and kicks that defy the perception of time. Shadow Creature 2 stands out for its devastating power. Its every strike sends out waves of dark energy that distort the surrounding space. Its presence emanates an ominous aura that shakes even the particles of space. The fight begins with Kakarot and Vegeta charging forward, but the shadow creatures respond with astonishing agility, dodging every blow and counterattacking with almost invisible movements. Faced with the speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta are forced to raise their power to Super Saiyan level.
Vegeta, These guys are incredibly fast. I can't even keep up with their moves.
Looks like our usual speed isn't enough. We'll have to raise our power to the maximum.
Both Saiyans concentrate, their golden auras bursting as they transform into Super Saiyan. Their golden hair lights up the space as they launch into a fierce offensive. But the Shadow Warriors remain equally agile, gracefully dodging the attacks. The intensity of the power illuminates the space.
Now, Vegeta, let's go all out.
Let's go, Kakarot.
The Saiyans rush towards these Shadow Warriors with a fierce offensive. However, the Shadow creatures dodge their attacks with surprising grace, moving through the energy blast with ease.
Is that the best you can do, Saiyans?
Their speed is admirable, but they're still not up to par. Damn it! It can't go on like this, Kakarot. We need something else.
You're right, Vegeta. Let's take this to the next level.
Faced with persistent speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta rise their power even higher, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. Their blue auras flash with intensity, and the pressure of their power shakes the surrounding space. However, the Shadow Warriors are not daunted. The battle reaches its peak as the four warriors are engulfed in a frenzy of energy. Kakarot launches his attack called Kamehameha, and Vegeta launches his final flash attack, but the Shadow Warriors respond with counterattacks that defy the laws of physics. Then the clash of these powerful attacks causes an immense explosion.
Well, guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now, don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now, without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.